Peace, everybody. Talking about ankle strength and knee strength progression. It's a slow process. It's not an overnight process at all. It takes time to build up the strength and flexibility in your knees, in your ankles, your tendons and ligaments. This is something that takes time. You shouldn't be in any rush, because the thing is, a lot of people with their joints and their tendons and their muscles, basically, they're tight. They're not stretchy. They're not loose. They're tense. They spend a lot of time in the seated position, probably in an office chair, or they just don't practice any type of exercising, maybe. And this is why it's important to take it easy when you're first getting started. As far as progression, keep in mind that progression is slow. When you're first getting started, you don't want to be overstraining yourself. You literally just maybe do a little bit at first. In my experience, when you train too hard too soon, it often ends with you feeling a lot of pain or inflammation. You may upset something that you were still trying to heal from before, and you want to be able to heal smoothly. You want to be able to heal and be able to come back the next time and be stronger. You don't want to be in this position where every time you work out, if you take a break, you're going to come back feeling weaker or something. You need to be able to come back stronger every time. You should come back stronger to the gym every time. When you do your exercises, it's good to switch it up. Switch it up from time to time, so then you can work out different angles. As you get stronger, certain muscles get stronger, so then you need to work out the other muscles that have been neglected. And speaking of variations and switching things up, this is why I'm a total believer in independent limb workouts. So one-arm push-ups or one-legged squats or lunges, basically. Hitting those type of movements allow you to keep a sense of accountability when you're doing your workouts. It allows you to make sure you know which limb is stronger in certain places. Because if you're always doing squats with both legs, when you go down, one leg could be stronger than the other, so you have like an unevenness in your body, and it'll be helping out the weaker leg the whole time. So the weaker leg never really gets stronger at the same rate as the stronger leg. Ideally, we should want them both to progress at the same time. Something I've noticed that a lot of people do with their workouts is you have a repetition, say it's squat, push-up, whatever. When you go down, people only visit the hard spot. I like to put emphasis on the hard spot and visit that area and stay there for a moment. Going down to the hard part of the workout and staying there gives you a lot more muscle activation. And then if you start doing movements and variations in that hard spot, you're just getting stronger in ways that you wouldn't have been able to before. Say like if you're always doing the regular squat, but you never hold it down there, that will never be your strongest part. I feel like it's important to work on your weaknesses and improve them. So if when you do your squat or push-up, if going down low is hard for you, you need to go down low more often. Now keep in mind, do this at your own risk. I'm not a doctor or nothing. I'm just sharing my experience from everything that I've learned over the past 13 years of my serious working out styles. I've done different various styles, from the heavy lifting conventional weightlifting guy to trying to be the strongest guy, to just only using dumbbells, to only doing body weight exercises, to now I'm at the point where I do body weight exercises with weight, but I also like to make sure I visit the hard part of a workout, and it has to incorporate some sort of stretch. It has already been scientifically shown that incorporating stretching with your working out gives you a better chance of muscle activity. So you're going to feel more muscle activation. It's going to work your muscles a lot more than just visiting that tough spot, going into the tough spot and staying there and stretching in that tough spot if you can. So I'll put it like this: incorporating stretches into your workout will activate the tendons, and your tendons are linked to your elasticity, and you can pull strength from your elasticity as well. I want to make something very, very clear. When you're trying to make progressive steps to getting stronger, more flexible, more abilities and more variation in different workouts, remember, you need to take your time. There's no rush. You got time. You're trying to think about how long it took to build the Empire State Building. At one point it was the tallest building in the world. So that's not an overnight feat. It takes time. You have to lay the foundation first. You have to make sure you get the right materials. You have to get all the building supplies. You got to get the right people with the right know-how who know how to put it all together. You got to make sure it's level. You got to make sure everything is plumb and square. You have to make sure there's so many boxes you need to check off. So take your time. Another thing that I feel like is one of the most important aspects of progression or training in general is nutrition, because your body does not need to be in an acidic state if you're trying to really have your muscles recover, because a lot of people suffer from inflammation in their muscles. So when you try to go down for a squat or a push-up or something, you feel some pain. A lot of times it's just inflammation. Not every single time, but a lot of people just suffer from inflammation, and this inflammation is what's stopping a lot of people from progressing and continuing their workouts and exercise and getting stronger and trying new things, finding out what their real potential is. And it's what you're eating that's stopping you. That's why I'm a big believer in not just eating macronutrition, but also the micro. So you got to think about things like spirulina and grass and plant protein. Like, they got drink compounds that have literally tons of plant herbs, like plants that are super good for you, like superfoods. They may have like dried pineapple, ginger, orange peel, and wheatgrass and turmeric, and a lot more things like acai berries. I may be saying it wrong, but the point is, you can get a lot of nutrition in a small package. If you do it right, you can pretty much get all the vitamins, minerals, and the aminos that you need, your muscles are going to need in just a very small package. We've covered that you need to take your time with progression. You need good nutrition, so micros and macros, and you need good stretching and muscle activity. So the saying where they say, if you don't use it, you lose it, when it comes to muscle gaining and getting strong, is true. The moment you stop your training, like say if you take a few weeks off, it's going to be that's three more weeks more training that you have to make back up, where you could have been ahead. Because if you take a huge break, you could end up putting yourself back. If you take too much time off training, it could regress your training. So you could come back to your exercises and be in a place where you're an inferior strength or inferior flexibility, because you took that time off and didn't continue developing your strength. Not to mention, if you're not stretching, you're tightening back up. And if you're not supporting the muscles and tendons with proper nutrition, that means it could get tightened up as well and get irritated, because there's no nutrition that's going to be relieving the inflammation. In some countries around the world, this position right here is a resting position. This is just a natural resting position. So everyone should be able to do this. This is something that your body is capable of doing. The problem is that everyone's made a lot of wrong turns, and there's nothing wrong with that. But now we all need to get on the road to success. We got to get back on the right road, get going to the right directions. So we covered some of the basics, but here's one thing that I need you to make sure you keep in the back of your mind at all times when you're training. When you feel pain, it's okay to stop. your body can't really heal properly if you're pushing through pain. Now, I'm not talking about muscle fatigue and you're just tired or you feel a lot of lactic acid from your workout. I'm talking about like a pinched nerve or something, or if you feel like when you train long enough, you're gonna notice the difference between the muscles burning and feel like something is like something's off, like the nerve is just fucked up or something. Like it's gonna feel like serious pain to where it's like you can't even do the movement properly. So if you can't do the movement properly anymore because of the pain, take some time and chill out somewhere. It's not worth it. As you go along with your progress, keep in mind that everybody's different. Whatever someone else across the gym is doing is not necessarily what you need to be doing, because they're in a totally different space, doing totally different things. They have different level of experience, so they have different level of flexibility and different level of strength and different workouts that their body's already used to. You know, we're all just compilations of our past experiences. So keep that in mind. You don't got to try to keep up with the Joneses.